Hello, stampers and crafters. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah McGuire from Sassy Paper Crafts. Welcome to my beautiful bouquet, and it's bouquet with a K, like B-O-K-E-H, my beautiful bouquet card class. Tonight, we're going to be making 3 cards using the Beautiful Bokeh Suite from Stampin' Up. It is a part of the new January to April mini catalog. It is my favorite suite in the catalog. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you haven't seen the mini catalog yet, or Celebration, which is going on now. Who is excited for Celebration? Because I totally am. You can check out my last video. I did a catalog launch party. I go through the mini catalog, Celebration, show off some goodies. So if you want to check that out, be sure to look at my last video. So tonight, I'm going to be going through all 3 cards for you. I do have a special going. You'll get a free Beautiful Bokeh class kit with a $40 order in my online store using the host code that you see on the screen. And what that is I will be sending you the supplies to make all 3 cards minus any stamped images. I cannot send stamped images. Let me make sure everything is working and set up the way it is supposed to be. I'm trying to see if we're live, where I'm supposed to be live. Okay, good, I see it. I'm going to turn off my camera really quick, flip you around so you can see my desk, and we will get started on our cards. You should still be able to hear me. Let me know in the comments if you are excited for Celebration, if you've gotten anything from it yet. If you have, tell me what your favorite thing is. If you've seen the Celebration catalog, it's pretty cool. I'm going to switch my camera. I'm still switching. Haven't gone live in quite a minute, so it does take me a little time. Turn my camera back on. You should see my desk now. Everything looks to be in focus. Move just a little bit. There. All right. So this is the tutorial. You will get this when you spend $40 in my online store. It tells you all the supplies we're using today, has all the instructions to make each of the cards. So let's jump right in. Hello, Susan. I have comments now. Hello, Charlene. Happy New Year, Susan. Hi, everybody. Let's start with our first card. Our first card is this one. I love this one. It's one of my favorite colors, Berry Burst. This was a old color that they brought back. Loving the butterflies. Charlene is here. She loves butterflies, so I know she's going to love this class. This one is super simple, super easy to make. Have all the supplies here. Again, when you spend $40 in my online store, this is what you'll get. Minus, you'll get the piece here that is already embossed. I'm going to show you that here in a second. So I have everything laid out. We're going to do our stamping first, just because it's easier. And let me show you this set. This is the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set and the Beautiful Butterflies dies. This also coordinates with the Beautiful Butterflies hybrid embossing folder. Now, this is my first time. Susan really loves butterflies too. Me too. This is my first time getting a hybrid folder. I've never done this before. They've had them for quite a while now. So what a hybrid folder is it die cuts and embosses at the exact same time. I don't know. I guess I haven't had one that I really loved. It actually goes this way. I have it the wrong way. But the die for that large butterfly fits in here and cut that. You can see I've cut this out before. It doesn't hurt. Hopefully that brought me back. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Hopefully I'm back. I don't know why that happened. That was really weird. Sorry, everybody. Let me make sure I can get my screen to stay on. I think that's what happened. I'm using my I don't know quite where I froze up at. So what I was saying was this is a hybrid set. When we're starting out stamping, I always recommend people to get at least a D block because it fits most of our stamps. Not this guy. This guy's too big. So you need an E block or larger. We do have a big F block. It's massive. It's for background stamps, but I put them on the E block. We're going to take this piece here first. Let me move stuff out of the way already, getting things in the way. I need my Berry Burst ink pad. And we're just going to ink up this butterfly in Berry Burst. And I like with the bigger stamps to take the ink pad right to the stamp. Otherwise, you can't really see where you're inking and it kind of can get messy. So ink up our butterfly. And I've cut this piece just big enough for him because we are going to be cutting him out with our hybrid embossing folder. That looks good for me. And while we're at it, I'm going to grab my sentiment out of here. Happy birthday. I do love that there's so many sayings in here. And I need a block, which I moved to make them easier, but then I hid them on myself. Don't you love when you do that? Try to make things easier and end up making it a little bit harder. Move this up. I do like to line things up with the grid paper because it just doesn't get straight sometimes. Ink up my happy birthday. Line that up. And now I can show you. That's really it for stamping. Unless you want to do some inside work, which I'm not going to do for this card. But now I can show you how to line everything up. So the top of your embossing folder is the part that says Stampin' Up. I'm going to do is I'm going to line this guy up. And I like to put it just over to like that. And we're going to line up the die. And see, actually, I lied. I did it the other way. I'm like, how did I do this? So the die fits on there. See how he's not coming off? And then you can line up the butterfly that way. And see how he's nice and lined up. So my die cut machine is just off camera over here. I'm going to just run it through the die cut machine. I put the seam side first, or I run it through with my folder. You know what? I'm going to bring this over really quick so you can see what I mean. So I have my platform and then our folder with the die inside. I'm going to put the gray piece on top and run it through. If you're ever not sure, if it's not going through like this, it's too thick. Don't ever force anything through your die cut machine. Hello, Melanie. She's a very pretty bouquet and butterflies. Love them. So I'm going to show you now how cool this is when you open it. How cool is this? So now this is stamped, cut, and embossed. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but there is definitely texture there. I can try to get it so you can see, but there's definitely texture. And then this piece is embossed too. You could use that negative space for a card if you'd like. I like just sometimes embossing the whole thing and not cutting out anything works great too. So now we're just going to assemble our card. And this is the Beautiful Bokeh 6x6 Designer Series paper. 2 sides to it. Both of them gorgeous. I'm going to put this on my piece of basic white. And then this is the inside of the card. Oh, and I didn't die cut my little berry burst butterfly, so I need to do that still. And then I'm going to show you the beautiful itty bitty bouquet gems, which I think it's a cute little name for them. We're going to be using those twice tonight. And then just for, I gotta grab my dimensionals because we want this guy to be nice and popped up in 3D. So be sure to not to put dimensionals on the wings. You don't want him to get like stuck down, because see how this one looks almost like he's flying right off of the card. I just put 2 just to get him secure. Hello, Anita. She said, cool. Isn't that hybrid embossing folder cool? It's my very first one, but I think I'm going to have to start getting them now. I love how it embosses and die cuts at the same time. It's really neat. I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals here. And, you know, maybe we don't need the little butterfly, but if you'll see on my sample here, I did die cut a little butterfly. I want to show you these dots because these dots are really cool. Now, they are itty bitty. They are not lying to you when they tell you they are itty bitty. So what I like to do with embellishments like this is I love the take your pick tool for this because it has this putty end. And what happens is when you leave it set a while, that putty end gets a little dried up. So I just snip that little bit off and it's putty again, and you can pick these pieces up. But how do you stick them to anything? Because they don't have adhesive on them. So what you can do is either use a glue dot or you can use liquid glue, which is what I'm going to do. And for this, because they are so tiny and it can get a little bit messy, I like to use my silicone craft sheet. And you know what? Let me get this banner off of here just so you guys can see. I'm going to grab your take your pick tool. And what I like to do is sometimes just put a little glue, just a little, not a ton, right on the sheet. And this will wipe right off. You could also run it under some warm water. So now I have some glue on there. And I just stick it down. And it only takes a second. You can grab another one. And for this card, I did 5. I like doing odd numbers when it comes to embellishments. So there's 3, and I just did a random, and so whatever I picked up, whatever this putty tool decides it wants to pick up, that's what we're doing. So there's 4, and we'll do 1 more, and we'll go here. Whoops. My glue got on my fingers. So this is our first card. Like I said, you could add that little butterfly guy if you want. I think it's pretty just like that. That is card number 1. Don't forget about these things though, because we are going to be using them for our 3rd card. Let's move on to card number 2, which let me get these out of the way and show you the sample. That is card number 2. How cute. Again, using that designer series paper. I lost a little embellishment there, but that's okay. We'll add some to our card here. And I have everything all ready to go. I do need a bone folder though. I gotta, whoops, burnish this edge. Just, it makes the card lay a lot flatter. So now for this one, I did use this die again, and you do get 2 in the set, so you can just die cut them at the same time. And I used balmy blue. You could also put an adhesive sheet on the back if you wanted to make these like a sticker. I didn't do that. I just ran them through. And then I cut out a couple of circles from the Spotlight on Nature. Where did my take your pick tool go? Spotlight on Nature dies. They're all circles. And even if you don't like the stamp set and you don't get the bundle, the die set is gorgeous. I think I have it right here so I can show you how pretty. Well, I thought I had it right here. Now I'm looking for it. I'm gonna find it. Oh, I think I put it in here to show. I did. I put it with everything. Of course I did. I got organized and I out organized myself. So this is the Spotlight on Nature dies. Look at all the circles. And they all have texture. They all have something going on. Beautiful die set. So that's why I die cut 2 of them out of basic white. And all I'm doing right here is there's little pieces that kind of got left in there. I'm just poking them out. And you know, some people leave them in and think it's fine. That's fine if you like doing it. I like getting all the little pieces out and then cleaning them up. So now we're just going to put down our, oh wait, we can't put it down yet. We got to do stamping first. What am I thinking? So we're going to get our medium-sized butterfly. There's a big butterfly, a medium one, and a small one. We're going to get out our medium butterfly, and we're going to create kind of our own designer series paper. I have a C block here. I'm going to grab some balmy blue ink. And I just really liked the lemon lolly. That's what color this yellow is. The lemon lolly with the balmy blue. It's almost like a baby card. So it says for you. So I thought it'd be a really cute card to do for like a baby shower. So let's ink up our stamp. And we're just going to stamp and make our own paper. Now, when I do this, I like to kind of go at a diagonal. And I'm not getting too crazy with how I'm turning my stamp. I'm kind of going straight on. But I like going at a diagonal because that way I don't get any like that are right next to each other. And it just kind of looks more, I don't know, coordinated, I guess. So we're just going to keep doing this until you like how it looks. Now, remember, a lot of this is getting covered up, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And sometimes I just like to come in and fill in these edges a little. And then just down here, and I think that's probably perfect. Before we put our stamp set away, though, I want another stamp, the little spots here. Oops. Throwing the hello around. And I'll use an A block for these. And I'm just going to ink this up and go on our circles here. And I'm doing it twice without re-inking. This is called stamping off. So you stamp, well, it's stamping off when you stamp off and then go in. I'm kind of just doing it twice to get 2 different layers of color there. Oh, and then we got to do the for you. And then I'm going to need to clean my stamps because I'm going to need these blocks back. So this is a B block. Ink that up. And I've already die cut the label. Usually, though, when I'm stamping, I will stamp and then I will die cut. But just to save a little bit of time, because we still have a whole other card we're going to do, I wanted to do the die cutting first. Now let me clean off some of these stamps because some of them we're going to use again, and some of them I just need the block. So this big guy here, we're not using anymore. That was just for our first card. I'm excited for this card, but I'm really excited to show you the third card because it's a fun shaker card. And I don't make a lot of those, but this, I think I might have to start. We're going to need that. I'm going to leave him there. Put these away quick just so I have some more room too. I'm running out of room on my desk. I don't know if that ever happens to you. Just run out of room. All right, and then we're just gonna put on our paper. Now, what I like to do for this is I like to do the middle one first. That way I can just see where the other 2 need to go. So this one's gonna go like this. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a handmade card, so it's not going to be Hallmark quality perfect. Have you seen the price of some of those Hallmark cards lately? They're not even like this good, right? I can't believe it when I went into Walgreens the other day. Let's put a little bit of liquid glue. I'm just going to stick that butterfly down. And then I have 2 of the little butterfly bodies. Grab the liquid glue for that. Not a lot though. You don't want it going all over. Just enough to stick it down. Maybe a little bit more. Having a hard time picking them up there. And then a few dimensionals. Charlene says handmade cards are the best, and they are crazy pricey. I just couldn't get over it. I was like, people actually are paying $8 and $9 here for one card. Outrageous. And then for this card, because we're using that thick basic white, you don't need an inside because it's already ready to write on. So I'm just going to, since it's here, I'm going to grab my liquid glue. And not too much, but just enough for it to stick down. And I know on the sample here, I did stamp a butterfly on the inside, which you definitely can do as well. For our embellishment, we are going to use some of these rainbow, what are they? Rainbow adhesive back dots, and there are some lemon lolly ones. So I'm going to grab the take your pick tool again, and we're just going to put 3 of them just kind of scattered, and maybe right there. That looks good to me. So now we are ready to move on to, I think, my favorite card of this bunch, the interactive shaker card. So let's move these 2 out of the way. Show you that sample again. Isn't that neat? It's because my phone screen is turning off, and I got to figure out how to not have that happen. Sorry about that. So I'm going to show you how to put in the cardstock to the embossing folder. Andrea, there you are. Yeah, it's my phone. I got to figure out how to, I got it so that it doesn't time out after 10 minutes. But so I'm going to run, see, and this would have been a great time for my phone to go out. I'm going to run these through my die cut machine very quickly. Talk amongst yourselves. So there is our embossed piece with that brick embossing folder. And honestly, my stepdaughter was just here. I could have had her. As I get older, I don't know how to do technology anymore. I'm like, I don't know how any of this works. I don't know how to fix it. So I just look at her and I go, fix it, please. Because I thought I turned it off, but apparently I did not. So what happens is my screen is like, well, you're not using the phone. We're going to time out. And then I just sat that die in the middle of this paper and die cut the butterfly. So now what we're going to do is a little bit of stamping. We need this one and then our fresh freesia ink. She said, don't feel like the lonesome stranger. Is it getting hard for you? Because I'm telling you, technology is every day. It's just a little bit harder than it was. I used to be good at it. And now I'm like, I don't know what we're doing. So this is cut a 1/4 inch smaller than the paper. And what I did was I just kind of lined it up. And then I'm not going to stamp through it because I don't want to stamp on that. But I'm just going to kind of eyeball where that was. And it should be about right. And if it's off a little bit, we can use our paper snips to cut. No big deal. And then before I put this away, I want to grab my other stamp for the sentiment. I got Time to Celebrate because I just thought that was a cute one. So I'm going to put this on an H block. And then I have my little sentiment strip here. This one doesn't have a whole lot of stamping to it either. It's mostly the shaker part. So this one I found too, I messed up a bunch of times stamping this one. Line up the time to and not the celebrate. Because if you try to line up the celebrate part, it's a little wobbly, right? You're going to have a hard time. That's what I did. I was trying to line up celebrate and I had a hard time. Line up the time to part. And then it'll go on perfectly every single time. But if you try to line up that celebrate part, it's just too wonky and you can't do it. You might be able to do it. I couldn't do it. Put away that ink pad. And now let's put on our pieces. So I have this piece here. This is a window sheet. And this is also cut a 1/4 inch smaller. And it's also staticky and has cat hair stuck to it. But it's a 1/4 inch smaller than our Designer Series paper. Now you're going to want to use a stronger adhesive for this. I recommend Seal, or I don't know where my Seal Plus went. Not Seal, sorry. I recommend Seal Plus or tear and tape. And that's what I'm going to use is some tear and tape. And I'm just going to put it around our butterfly a little bit. Just to make sure it's nice and stuck down. I like to peel this part off with the paper piercer side of the tape. You can use your fingernails too, but mine never work for this part. Grab that. And then you can sit down your window sheet. So you can't even see it anymore, but trust me, it's there. You probably can see the glare from the lights. And now we need some foam adhesive strips. You could use the edge of your dimensionals too, but you want something that has a little bit of height because that's how you get the shaker part of it. So if you use something like Seal, it's gonna not really shake. So I'm just gonna take one of these strips and then just my scissors wherever they went. And I'm just gonna go around the butterfly. Now the trick here is to make sure all your pieces connect, because if they don't connect, that is going to make the pieces fall out. And you don't want that. So these all need to connect, but you don't want to see them from the other side, right? I have a glare trying to get it. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, I better like touch my phone screen or something so you guys don't go away. It's so funny that twice now. Screen's just timed out. And then I freeze. It doesn't even turn black. It just freezes, which is funny to me. And that's a little bit too long. You just kind of got to eyeball it. There really is no exact measurement. And it's a little bit tedious, but it's totally worth it to get a really cool shaker card. Again, you just want to be very careful. And we need a teeny tiny piece just to fill that in. You want to make sure all the edges are connected because you don't want to lose any pieces. Might need to pick that up a little. Now these are kind of chunky, so I've used some that are very, very fine, and you just don't want them coming out. So I just take my finger and I just put a little bit. You don't need a ton, but I do want to make sure I get like the pieces I want. Like I want some of those fresh freesia gems. There's all kinds of little pieces in there. That should be good. You could put more or less. For the purposes of showing you, I'm going to do that. And then what we're going to do is take off the backings of these very carefully. Oh, I do have a sequin stuck to my finger. Sometimes they get a little staticky. You're very carefully going to peel these backings off. And then we're going to put down our butterfly right over top. See, I got a piece right on there. If that backing would have been off, it would have been stuck. So I'm going to do the best I can to line up this butterfly. And like I said, we might have to cut some of this basic white off. That's okay. Let's turn it over. Oh, I think I did pretty good. You can see the butterfly through it. It's shaking. Some of them are sticking because there is a little bit of static on my window sheet. Now, if you want to get the static off, if you have like an Emboss Buddy or even a used dryer sheet, would get some of that static off. It's winter though here in Michigan, so there's just going to be static. There's static in my craft room all the time. Let me get these pieces out of the way. And now we can assemble everything. I just think that's so cool. I literally could sit here all day and shake that thing. So to put this on, I just used a little bit of regular Stampin' Seal because I didn't want to go too much. You don't really want to do a dimensional and pop it up. And you can go however you want. You can make it kind of at an angle. I'm just going to go straight on like that. And this one is opposite from the one I did before. And then for this guy, I am going to use a couple of dimensionals. Susan asked, what city are you in Michigan? I'm in Saginaw. So right almost towards the middle, right in the crooks of the thumb. I'm just going to add this to the bottom. And again, I didn't do a whole lot to this because the real focal point is that shaker piece. I'm going to add some seal. Oh my, I got my putty stuck inside my card base. She's in Clarkston. I know where that is. I've gone to concerts in Clarkston. South of me, right down I-75. And then we want to add our, I think I had this. I just had two pieces, I guess, for the inside. We want to add our inside. I had two pieces, I think, for the butterfly. I don't know where that came from. Anita said, fun shaker. I seriously could just sit here and shake it all day. But we're not done yet because I do want to add a couple of embellishments that I had literally 2 seconds ago. There they are. These are the tinsel gems. This is the 3-pack. There is also a 4-pack. And I think that's Misty Moonlight, the Fresh Freesia, and Lost Lagoon. I'm just going to add a couple of these Fresh Freesias. Again, of course, we're going to do 3 because I do things in 3s. I just think, I don't know, I like how it looks. So there is that card. Let me bring back the other one so you can see. I seriously could sit here and shake them all day. She says, yep, Pine Knob. I live right near there. I've seen the Backstreet Boys there. I've seen all kinds of bands there. I love Pine Knob. So there's the second cards we made, and then the first card with that embossed butterfly. And I didn't make the second one, but you saw how to do it kind of with that guy. It's the same butterfly, just in a different color. So again, if you want to get the card kits for free, just place a $40 order in my online store. The host code should be right there on your screen. From January 12th to January 31st, you have the whole rest of the month to place your order using that host code. I will send you these card kits for free. Andrew says, ooh, I love the colors of the happy birthday. Like, me too, right? Isn't that pretty? It's berry burst. I love this color. It's one of my favorite. So if you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. You can email me at sarah@sassypapercrafts.com. I'll leave a comment here on this video and I'll get back to you. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. I want to thank you all so much for watching and hanging out with me tonight. I had a blast. I hope you did too. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.